Okay, so today's topic is the command line argument. Okay, so to do the command line, actually, first we will see what done by command line argument. Then after that, we will see one of the use of that command line argument. So generally, what happen if when you do any type of program? Okay, suppose if you do any type of program, then what happen? One object file of that program get created. Okay, so just take an example of this one. CD zoom and then clang. Okay, and suppose take any C file, and when you compile any C file, then what file get created? This is the file that is created when you compile the file. When you compile any C language file, C file, then this type of the file get executed, and that file is called as a object file, or you can it is also called as an executable file. Okay, so that you can directly execute a dot out. Okay, so that is a previous program that we have done. 3 rise is 3. Okay, you have entered the array 3. Okay, so it means that here to run your program, actually you are using this executable file. But what happens, suppose when I run this program, now it asks for the size. When you run the program, it is asked for the user input. You are taking the user input as a 5 and you are entering some numbers here. Okay, so whatever the input in this type of the program, whatever the input that you are giving, that you are giving after the execution of your program, but in some program, in some cases, before running your program, you should know a certain thing. For example, you want to connect to a one computer through the networking. So if that program you are executing, suppose that program is a chatting program. Okay, you are doing a chatting server. If you want to chat with the another computer, then you must provide here the IP address of that computer. For example, 192.168.12.1. Okay, so this is my IP address that has to be provided at the time of running my program, not after running my program. After executing a program, I don't want it. I want this number that should be input at the running of my program, at the running. So when you are running your program, and if you want to give some input to your program, then that you can do with the help of this command line argument. This is known as a command line argument. Okay, we have seen that function argument. You are providing the input to the function, that is known as the function arguments. And what is command line argument? While running your program through the command prompt, if you're giving some input to your program, then that is called as a command line argument. So here, how many arguments you are giving? Only one argument you are giving. Okay, for example, you want to do a addition program. Okay, so what you are doing, suppose the executable file is name is the add, and now you want to do this addition of these two numbers. So at the running of your program, when you are running your program, then you are giving the inputs. You are not giving the input after running. At the time of running your program, you are giving the input. So that this 10 and 20 is now, it's called as a command line argument. Now, and we will see here how this command line argument get processed in our programs. So getting this, what is the need of the command line argument and where it is needed when you want to run any program, and while running your program, before running your program, if you want to initialize something, if you want to give some input to your program, then that is called as your command line. Just like, so for example, ls is one of the C language program. What is the use of ls? List my directory. So ls, it will list all my directories and files in from my folder, ls. So but ls also taking one command line argument as a -l. When you do ls -l, now there is another file for another display will be there. So that display is, it is list out all the files and folder with all attributes. All the attribute you can get. That is the, what is read write, executable permission, is it folder or files, then who is the owner of this file, then what is the size of the file, when this file was created. All the attributes of that particular file is you can get by using this command line. Now you are executing the same program, but if you are providing -l, then this type of the output you will get. If you are providing -a, then you will get all the hidden and hidden file folder. Okay, so these are the hidden files. Dot, double dot, and the dot distore, these are the hidden files. You can get this hidden file by using the ls -a. Okay, so like that any C program can get the input at the time of running, and that is called as a command line argument. Getting? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll do one program here. In that program, actually we try to implement the command line argument. I'm saving a program as a command line dot c. Okay, this is my just name of my program. My program start with the hash include stdio.h. Okay, and then now next one is the main function. Now main function, we know that return 0, but if you want to use the command line argument, this prototype or this signature of the main function you can't use. This signature be only used if you don't want to receive a command line argument. If you want to receive a command line argument, then another signature of the main function you have to use, and that is the int argc. Argc is your argument name. Okay, one of the argument. Instead of argc, you can give any name here. Okay, just a argument name, local variable of main function. And the second one is the char star argv of array. It is a two-dimensional array of character. Okay, it is a two-dimensional array of character. So what is your first argument of your main function? The first argument of the main function gives me how many argument I am receiving. How many argument? What is the number of count? What is the count of my argument that I have received when I run this program? If you are giving 2 arguments, then argc is equal to 2. If you are giving 3 arguments, argc is equal to 3. So this, to get that how many argument the user has passed, you can check by comparing it with the argc. So your program is only run if you receive only 2 arguments, then you can do the program. If argc equal to 2, then execute my program. Otherwise, give the error message that I require this number of arguments only, provide me. Otherwise, I am not able to run my program. Okay. Now next one is, what is this? The next one is called as your command line argument itself. It is a two-dimensional array of character. Two-dimensional array of characters means here, if you are giving, suppose your program is there ./a.out, this is my program name, and suppose you are giving the first as a Ganesh, second as a Attarde. So it means that your first argument is stored in argv, second argv is also stored in argv, but it is an array of the string. It is array of string. So generally argv of 0 contains this one a.out, argv of 1 contains Ganesh, and argv of 2 contains the Attarde. Got it? So it means that whatever that command line argument, receive command line argument, we can get it by using this array, argv array. Okay, first argument argv of 0, second argument argv of 1, third argument argv of 2, fourth argument argv of 3, like that. Okay, so if you want to print any if you want to get any command line argument, you can get it by using the argv here. Okay, so now we will do one program here. In that program, actually we will just print out all the command line argument that we have received. Okay, so first we want to print that how many command line argument I have received. Okay, so you can print here command line arguments received is equal to, or count of command line argument received is equal to, now where that count gets stored? Count is stored in
Int argc.
argc. Okay, so we have just need to print here argc. So when you print argc, actually you now know that what is the count here. Because if you are passing 5 arguments, argc is 5. If you are passing 2 arguments, argc is only 2. Okay, now I want to traverse this argv. So I require one variable, I variable, and I'm using for loop for I equal to 0, I less than or less than argc and arg I plus plus. Okay, because it is a array of the string. It is an array of string. So I want to print it. So how to print? Very simple. I want to print here by using %s because it is a string. It is an array of string. Okay, so how many strings present depending on number of counts. Okay, so if there are 5 strings are there, we have to iterate this loop by 5 times. So 0 to 4. If argc is 5, it iterate from 0 to 4. Because if you are receiving the 5 characters, if you are receiving the 5 arguments, then what are the possible argv? Argv of 0, argv of 1, argv of 2, argv of 3, and argv of 4. Okay, so first I can print by using argv of 0. Second, I can print argv of 1. Third, I can print argv of 2. So to iterate it, just I need to give here argv of I. So just I start with 0 up to the argc minus 1. Getting? And I am printing here some slash argument list is equal to, okay. First we are printing the what is the count of the command line argument, and then we are printing the argument list. Getting? Now we'll try to run this program and we'll see what is the output of this program. Okay, so how to compile it? To compile the program, gcc command line dot c. When I compile it, then now there is no error, just we can directly run it. Okay, so here for in first case I'm not passing any argument. If you are not passing any argument, then try to execute this program and we will see what is the output. Okay, so it will say that how many command line argument receive? 1. And what is the first command, what is the first argument list? What is the, how many argument it receive? 1 only. And what is the first argument it receives? Dot slash a dot out. So remember that here dot slash a dot out is also a argument. It is also a argument. It is a first argument. So by default, your any program receiver by default 1 argument, and that is the name of that program itself. Now second time I am running the program with the 1 argument. So dot slash out space and Ganesh. So Ganesh is the 1 argument that I want to give. But actually how many argument this program is having? 2 argument. First is your a dot out, second one is your Ganesh. So you can see here how many command line argument received? 2. First one is the dot slash a dot out and second one is the Ganesh. Okay, just what I'm doing here, just I'm printing a slash n. Okay, as I'm not printing slash n, it is printed one after another. Just again, okay, Ganesh, yes. So very first one is dot slash a dot out, second one is the Ganesh. Okay, now third time I am running the program with the 3 arguments. First argument is the a dot out, second one is Ganesh, third one is your Akhtardi. So you can see here command line argument receive is a 3, and first is a dot out, second one is Ganesh, third is Akhtardi. So you can give as many command line argument here. First, all the command lines will be called, the command line argument should be separated by the space. You can see here how many command line argument received. Total 27 command line argument received, and these are the list of my command line argument. So getting this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so get the actually meaning of this one. Actually this is first program that will explain you how to use the argc and argv, how to use argc and argv. Just copy paste this program in your chat window. Now I'm changing this program. Yes, I'm changing this program in which actually I want I want a program which receive the exact two argument, which receive exact two arguments means actually command line argument count should be 3. I want to give two inputs. That's why what is the count? First one is by default your program name. I want to give two more. So what is the count? It should be 3. Okay. So I'm designing a program. I want to design a program in which the command line argument should be equal to 3. And if it is not equal to 3, I don't want to execute it. So I can do here if argc equal to 3, or if argc is not equal to 3, then you can print here insufficient arguments. Required arguments are 2. Okay, required arguments are 2. Okay, to run your program actually you require the 2 arguments here. Okay, but when you are giving 2 argument, argc is 3, remember it. Okay, and you are returning from this function itself, return -1. Okay, otherwise if this condition is false, then argc equal to 3. Okay, or you can even check it. If argc is equal to 3, if argc equal to 3, it means that you are receiving a 2 arguments. If you receive a 2 argument, then you now suppose the first argument is my first name and second argument is my surname. I want to print my full name here. So full name, your full name, %s, comma %s, slash n, comma. Now first argument, now what the argv of 0 contains? Argv of 0 contains a dot out. I don't want to print a dot out. I want to print the first argument. What is the first argument? First argument is present at argv of 1. Second argument is present at argv of 2. Okay, so on first argument I'm giving my first name, second argument I'm giving the second name, that is your surname, and it will give the output as a full name. Your full name is, and this full name will be printed there. Okay, we will try to run this program. Command line 1.c. Okay, so here first I need to compile this program, command line 1.c ./a.out, and suppose I'm not giving any command line argument, then what happened? Insufficient, it will print insufficient arguments, required arguments are 2. Suppose I'm giving only single argument, then also it will give the same output, insufficient argument, required argument is 2. But suppose if I'm giving exactly 2 arguments here, so it will print your name. Your full name is Ganesh Attade. Getting this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it easy?
Sir,
Yes.
So can you
why
show us
pointer then?
another example?
Okay. Tell me again.
a
Can you
pointer.
give another example?
Pointer. Who said pointer?
Sir, that's pointer only, no, sir.
It is a 2-dimensional array. It is a 2-dimensional array. Generally, a single dimensional array we will receive by using this char star argv. Okay. To receive the single dimensional, that is, I think we have taken in on Friday. How to give the array to your function. If I want to pass an array to a function, this is the technique that we are using, char star and the ptr. Here instead of ptr we are using argv. Now
Okay.
to pass the 2-dimensional array, this is the technique.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now we will take one more example. In that example, actually,
Sir, wait 1 minute.
Yeah.
In this, why you have taken 3 sir, we could have taken 2, no, sir. Argc is not equal to 3.
Okay, so what is the uses of this program? Tell me, what is uses? How to run this program? If I want to run this program, then it is ./a.out, and suppose the name, first name, and the second one is the connect. Tell me how many arguments are there? Tell me.
Oh, 3, sir.
3, sir.
That's why I'm taking if argc equal to 3, then your full name. Instead of that, suppose if you are giving only this, then what is the argc? Argc is 2 only. So using first name only, you can't do a full name. So that's why I'm printing here. If argc is not equal to 3, insufficient argument. Require argument as R2. Getting?
Okay, sir.
So ./a.out, that command is also considered as one of the
First argument.
first argument. Okay.
It is always the a.out is always stored in argv of 0.
Okay.
It always stored in argv of 0. Argv of 0 is the first string, argv of 1 is second string, argv of 2 is third string, like that. Okay.
Sir, this command line argument we can't use in Turbo, sir. Turbo C, please.
Yeah, in Turbo C actually we can't directly use. We require to use their command line, that command prompt in Windows. Actually, we are having that command prompt is there.
Okay.
So exe file is created. The name of the exe file is suppose hello.exe. So on command line, actually there in Windows, actually you need to do here HELLO. This is your exe file name, and whatever the arguments you want to give, just you have to give here and just press enter.
Okay.
Okay. A.out in Linux or Mac, and your exe file is in your Windows.
Okay, sir.
Now we will do one more practice of this command line argument. Now in this actually we will implement one program. Add command line.c. Okay, so we'll do a addition of 2 number by using a command line argument. Addition of 2 number. So how this program I'm going to use here uses. First I'm doing a.out, and suppose I want to add 2 numbers, so just directly I'm giving the 2 numbers at the command line, 10, 20. Getting? And your output should be, and you will get output as addition is equal to 30. This should be your output. Getting? Yeah, this is your uses and this is the result. Okay. Now next tell me how many arguments we require. 3 arguments. 1, 2, and 3. So same statement. If argc is not equal to 3, insufficient argument. Required arguments are 2. Okay. Now if argc equal to 3, then what to do? Tell me.
Addition.
Yeah, we require one variable integer res. Okay. Now tell me what we do. Res is equal to
10 plus.
How to access 10? 10 is stored at argv of
0.
1,
1.
not 1, 0, argv of 1, and it is 20 is stored at argv of
2.
So is it done? Can we do this? Can we do argv of 1 plus argv of 2? We can't do. We can't do here. Why? Because these two are the strings. Argv is string, and argv of 1 is string, argv of 2 is also string. String plus string we can't do in your C language. String cannot be added with the string. Plus operator can be only operate on integer characters and your floats only. It never operates on string. Okay, so how to do this? I want to subtract, I want to add this 10 and 20, but 10 is stored in terms of string. It is not stored in terms of integer. So what is the technique? Just very simple. Convert your string to integer. convert the string to integer. Okay, there is a function name as a to I function. Okay, the function name is a to I. Now a to I function will convert the string to integer. So whatever the integer value of this string is get converted into the, or integer, not integer value, it is a equivalent value. So 10 string equivalent integer is 10, integer 10. 20 string equivalent integer is 20. Getting? So a to I function is converting the string to integer. A means character, I means integer. A to I, string to integer. Getting? And we are printing this res. Addition equal to %d /n, comma res. So we'll try to run this program. I think this a to I is present in stdlib. stdlib.h. A to I is present in stdlib.h. So we'll try to run this program. So first we need to compile this. So how to compile? GCC add command line dot c and then /a.out. Now only run this program, it requires 2 arguments. Provide 1 argument, it requires 2 arguments. Provide 2 arguments, your addition is 30. Getting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you are not using the a to I function, then what happens? If you are not using a to I function, and if I'm trying to run this program, then it will give error. Okay. It will give error argv plus argv of 1 plus argv of 2. You can't do this. Yes. So remember that if your string is there and if any string contains the integer value, if you want to extract the integer value from that string, use the function a to I, and a to I function is present in the library stdlib.h. Okay. So what is your task now? What is your assignment for this command line argument? Just try to implement some programs that you earlier implemented. Just like suppose checking the given year is a leap year or not. Okay. If the given year is a leap year, then it will print leap year, otherwise it is print not leap year. But that leap year you should get from the command line only. You will not getting using the scanf function. You should get it by using the command line only. So your program should be ./a.out space 2020, and it should print it is a leap year. Yes.
Yes.
So yes, just okay. So every time if I compile the program, what is the default file is get created, object file? It is known as a ./a. It is a a.out file we created. The file is created as a a.out. If I want to run it, I want to use / in front of it. Okay. If you print / in front of that any executable file, it get printed. Okay. Now, can I give the name to a.out file to any name? Just like
Yes,
I
sir.
want to give as a add. Can I give it? Yes, you can give by using the command line argument to GCC. Now GCC is also one of the C language program. It is a compiler designed in a C itself. So it is -o. GCC -o. And then what is the name I want to give? Add. And
Add.
then which file I want to compile? Add command line.c. So this what how many this GCC program will take how many arguments? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 argument taking. If it is taking 4 argument, and if the second argument is -o, then it will go for the third argument. minus o add. So whatever the third argument is there, that is the name of my object file now. Okay, so when I run this program, then you can now do this /add, and then whatever the number you want to add, just give in front of it. Getting?
Yes, sir.
So not necessary that you should always use a.out. You can give a specific object name for your program. Okay.
Sir, if you want to give like that, we should put minus O, sir, there.
Minus o, not 0.
GCC is also compulsory, no, sir? GCC minus O.
GCC is the compiler, that is your C program itself. It is GCC is also the C program.
Sir.
Yes,
Yes,
it is
sir.
also the object file. It is GCC also object file. So I want to give the command line argument minus o. First command line argument minus o, second command line add. So in a GCC implementation, they might have written that if my argv of 1 is minus o, then argv of 2 is the name of my object file. Else, if argv of 1 is not minus o, then my object file name is a.out.
Yes, sir.
Getting? So this type of implementation they have implemented.
Okay.
Okay, now getting the command line argument now fully.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Try
Sir?
it yourself. Yes.
If we do an online compiler, then ./a.out we won't use, no, sir.
No.
That time only 2 arguments will be there.
1 minute. Online C compiler. I think there is a command line argument is also one of the input given. Yes, these are the command line argument. Okay, the same program I will do in the online compiler. Yeah. Control C. Control V. Okay, if I'm directly running this program, it will give the output as
Sir, int main there you didn't.
int arg c, comma, char star arg v. Oh, sorry. And so it will give comma insufficient argument. Okay, then that hash include std lib.h. This should be included. Run my program and you will get output as insufficient argument. Getting? But if I want to run it, yeah, where is that inputs is given? Okay, so before this actually there is one input is given. No? Control C. Okay, so you can see a command line argument is there. I am copy this program, and before running this program, I'm giving the command line argument here. So 10, 30. Okay, so 10, 30. These 2 arguments I'm giving here, and you should get output as addition is 40. Get it?
Yes, sir.
But before running that program, you should provide the command line argument there. Okay.
Sir, but here a.out it is not considering, no, sir. Only
No,
2
no,
are.
a.out
That is only for
run.
GCC.
That is only for GC. This is not command line actually. We are running as a GUI here. Run will automatically give while running your program these 2 argument 10 space 20 space 10 space 30. These 2 arguments is automatically provided to this a.out.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
So, but only 2 arguments we gave, no, sir. It should come insufficient arguments, no, sir.
No, it's own file is it is the first argument itself. You can check it here. Whatever I'm using here, argv of 1. Second argument is the argv of 2. Argv of 0 is the first argument. So whatever your command, your executable file, that is argv of 0. Argv of 1 is your 10 and argv of 2 is 30.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So try the more programs, the basic program that you have taken as a user input. Try the user input from the command line itself only. Okay. Okay. The next one is your string. The next topic is string.
Sir, is there any definite application of using command line? So because like addition function and all this, like when we are writing normal code itself, we are able to get the thing. No, so is there any special application for command line?
Okay. Can you tell me how to create a folder?
CD.
How to create?
CD is the command.
Not CD. To create a folder.
Okay, to create a mkdir.
Mkdir.
And we can give any name of the folder.
So what is this?
A new directory, I mean a new folder is getting created in the name Ganesh.
So what is this Ganesh? This is the command line argument given to the mkdir.
Okay.
It is a uses of this command line argument.
Okay.
Suppose I want to change the directory. So what your command you are using? CD Ganesh. So it means that here CD is the one C file. It is a C file, executable file, and you are providing the input to the as a Ganesh. So it will change directory to Ganesh. So it will search for the Ganesh directory. If it is present, then now it will give error. No such a file or directory. So it will search out that Ganesh directory present in my own directory or not. If it is not present, then it will give this error. If it is present, then it will go inside it. So what is this Ganesh? It is a command line argument.
It's a command line argument.
Getting?
Yes, sir.
Any other doubts regarding to command line? Yes, you can ask any doubts, any simple doubts also you can ask. So got the uses where you can use uses, just like very first one, GCC add.c. So what is GCC? Your C program.
It's compiling the program.
What is add.c? It is the argument. File argument itself. Getting? Suppose copy command is there. CP. Suppose the file name is ganesh.c. I want to copy into the hello.c. So CP is the command which copy the ganesh.c into the hello.c. So the new file is get created hello.c, which is a copy of Ganesh. So what is this Ganesh.c? It is the first argument. Hello.c is the second argument. Getting?
Yes, sir.
So next is your string 1.c. Okay, so before starting this topic, let's define string. What is string? String is a
collection of characters.
Yeah, it is a one-dimensional array of characters. Okay, it is a one-dimensional array of characters, and a very special application is it is terminated by. It is a one-dimensional array of characters. It is terminated by a null character. It is always terminated by a null character. And what is that null character known as? It is known as /0. It is /0. So if your a single dimensional character is there, single dimensional array is there, having the characters inside it, and if the last character is the /0, then you can say that that is not a simple character array, that is the string. Getting? Now just identify which is the string and which is the character array. Okay, so I'm defining one character array here. ARR1 is equal to A, B, C. It should be array. Second one is your name. Array is equal to Ganesh. Third is equal, suppose name wall. Tail is equal to GBsoft. Third one, lev2 is equal to G B Okay, so tell me first one, is it what is the, is it string or is it a simple character array?
String, sir.
Array, sir.
Okay, so first look at your definition. It is just one dimensional array of character. Is it one dimensional array? Yeah, it is one dimensional array. Is it terminated by null character?
No, sir.
It is not terminated by null character. If it is not terminated by null character, then that is known as your array of characters only. But what about the second one? If I'm talking about the second thing, then what is the second one? Now character name array is there, single dimensional array equal to Ganesh. Now if you initialize the array with the double quote, then the compiler will automatically add, compiler will itself add a null character as a last character. So after H, there is /0 is automatically inserted. Got it? So what is this? It
String.
is a string. So remember that if you want to create a string, use the double quote. Double quote means it is a string. Here, tell me. It is also the string. But what is the difference between this one, first and second?
Sir, yes, in the second one, we are storing the number of
Size is initialized and here it's not.
In a first thing, in this one, in this type of declaration, the size of this array is not given. In here, the size of the array is given here. Size of the string is given, size of the string is not given. If the size of the string is not given, what is the size of this name? It is decided by the initialization. What initialization? I think 6, 7. 6 plus 1, that is 7 bytes. So size of your name is 7 bytes here. But here, what is the size of name 1? Size of name 1 is 10. Size of name 1 is 10. Why? Because GBsoft and /0, this is the stored one. But what about the remaining? That is, I think, 8th and 9th character. 8th and 9th character and the 10th character. 8, 9 and 10th character. These are the 0. These are the 0. But that memory is there. So here you are wasting 3 bytes. Okay, you are wasting 3 bytes here. Getting?
So it's /0 for the rest of the things. So
Pardon? /0.
/0 for the rest of the things until 10.
Yes, /0.
But for the previous one, it's only one /0. That's
only one /0, because the size of that string will be decided by the whatever the character present plus one for this /0.
Sir, but size should be mentioned, no, sir.
No. Here, if the size is not mentioned, then initialization is compulsory.
Okay.
If you are giving this statement, then there is an error. then you have to give the size. Compulsory you have to give size. But if you initialize at the time of declaration, then giving the size is not compulsory.
Sir, even in that program, sir, array programs, we
Yes,
wrote the
yes,
same
same.
thing.
Integer also same thing. At the time of declaration of your array, if you are initializing the array, then giving the size is not meant, because from this one you can directly tell what is the size. How many character initialize? 3 character. So what is the size of array? 3. Simple. Getting? So here the size is given and initialize also taken. Initialization also done. So the remaining actual size is 10 only. But how many character initialized? 7 characters are only initialized. Remaining 3 are not initialized. So initialize by 0. What is the name2? Is it name2? What is it? It is an array or string. It is array of character or string.
String, sir. String.
Is it array of character string? It is a string. Why? Because just look at your definition again. A single dimensional array of character terminated by the /0. Okay. So all the definition meaning will be satisfied in the name2. So it is also the string. Okay.
Sir, if
How?
it is
Yes. Yes. Yes.
not terminated, also the string only, sir.
Pardon.
If it is not terminated by /0, then also it will be string only, sir. Or
take the first example. Is it terminated by /0?
No.
So it is not string. Simple. It is an array of character. It is terminated by /0,
no, sir.
so it is a string.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now I want to print name here. So how to print name? If I want to print a name, then very simple. There is a format specifier for string is there. Format, it is a %s. Format specifier for the string is %s. So if it is a string, then only you can use %s. You can't use %s for array or array1, ARR1. Getting? Because /0 is not there. So you have to print manually A, B, C there. One by one character you have to print there. But here, if there is /0 is at the end, you can use directly %, and just you need to put here name. Name is equal to name. Okay. Then printf name1 is equal to %s, comma name1. Same thing you can do with the name2. Name2 is equal to %s, comma
name2.
Name2. It every should be and it should be end with a /n. Control B. If I run this program, then first name Ganesh, JBsoft and JBsoft. Get it?
Sir,
Yes.
Yes.
can we give double quotes inside that array one?
No.
No, sir.
No. Single quote means single character. Double quote means string. If you are giving a double quote here, suppose instead of this single quote, if I'm giving double, it means that you are giving the 2 characters here. 2 characters, G and /0. This is not a single character. This is the 2 characters actually. G as well as /0 is also there. So name2 of 0 is G and /0. But how 2 character can be stored in 1 byte? You can't store. So you will get error there. You will get error. Excess element in a character array. What is the excess element? /0 is the excess element. Getting?
Yes.
It is a character array. It means that it only contains character. And in C language, how to define character? Single quote. How to define string? Double quote. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now suppose I want to take the user input. How to take the user input? So I'm defining one name. Now I don't have the initialization for name. So giving the size is compulsory here. Okay, size, giving the size is compulsory. So enter your name. Okay, enter your name and then scanf %s comma, what we do, what generally we are doing, typing here, ampersand of your variable. What is the ampersand operator? Is address of the variable. It is a address of the variable, but we know that your array name itself address. Array name is a itself address. Name is array name and name is a itself address. If you print name, then it is address. So no need to give address of name there. Directly name you have to put it here. This is the difference between that scanning the integer, character, float values and the scanning the string value. While scanning the string value, no need to give here ampersand operator. If you want to give ampersand operator, then you have to give this address of name of 0. Okay, but instead of that, you can directly give name here. Yes. So just note down this difference, %s name only. So we're trying to run this program on the terminal. So GCC and my, I think file name is string1.c. Okay, and then /a.out. So your name is Ganesh and you enter your name Ganesh, your name is Ganesh. Getting correct output? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if I'm giving the name as a Ganesh Attardi, so what it prints? It should print Ganesh Attardi, okay, but it only prints Ganesh. Why?
So because you have given size as 10, no, sir.
Okay, size of 10. I'm increasing size here, 20. Now, if I'm increasing the size, if I compile again, if I'm running it, and if I'm again giving the Ganesh Attardi, still it is taking Ganesh only.
So because the space
Space
should
is
be
not
terminated.
But space is also included in your string. It should include. No? What is the string? It is a collection of characters. So insufficient arguments. Required arguments are 2. This is one string only. Don't this string contain space? Look at here. It contains space. Is it a one string only? So here space is not included. Space is not included while scanning the string if you are using a scanf function. So what the scanf function, just try to remember, while giving the inputs to the scanf function, the 2 inputs should be separated by. Over I want to give the 2 input, enter the 2 numbers. So how the 2 numbers you are inputting? So 10 and 20 you want to enter. So first you can enter by 10 space 20. Okay. You can enter by 10 enter 20. You can enter 10 tab 20. So if you want to give the 2 inputs, more than one input, then all the inputs should be separated by either space, either tab, or either enter. Now the same thing followed here. Your scanf think that this is my first input and after this is my second input, but you have only scan one. You have only scan one. If you only scan one, then it will only store that
one.
as a one only. Okay. So how to correct it? If I want to correct it, I will require another array. I require another array. I want to scan it again one more time. And you can use here %s comma
Surname.
Okay, so if I run this program, first compile it and run it, and if I'm giving Ganesh Attardi, so you will get Ganesh Attardi. Getting this? But instead of that, now I want to give my full name. This is my full name. Now again, I want to modify the program. I need to create a 3 strings. Again, scan 3 times. Again, print 3 times. So, and suppose I want to print my address also. So I or a mobile number. Okay, so this is my mobile number, my address, and suppose this much of data I want to enter. And how much data user are going to enter, I don't know. So at that time, what to do? What to do?
For loop. So
For loop, but I don't know what is the how many number of times actually it is get executes.
we can ask for the number, how many you want to enter, and then
Yeah,
we can
ask for the number of string you want to enter. But the user say that I'm not able to count it because it is a whole story. I want to print it. How I want to give as an input. Whole story is there. One paragraph is there. One paragraph I want to enter. So you don't have to use this technique, traditional technique. Use some modified technique. The modified technique is scan the string up to /n. What I'm inputting here, I am giving more information to the compiler that don't use scanf as a traditional. Now modify the scanf to scan the string up to /n. Up to /n you have to say. It means that until you press /n, all the character that you have entered is a part of that string. Getting? What is my /n? /n is your enter.
Enter.
Okay. So just try to again run this program. So now check it here. Ganesh Attarde. If I run this program, yes. Are you getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I'm doing here, I'm mentioning that up to /n. I have modified that first word. Up to space, up to tab. I don't want to scan. Up to /n, I want to scan only. Okay. Until you press /n, your string is there. Space is also included now in your string. Space is also included. Tab is also included. Space is also included. Yes, getting? So if you want to scan a string with space, use this technique. Have you noted this technique? Have you noted down? Percent in the square bracket up to /n. Okay. You can use this technique also. Suppose okay. What I'm doing? Scan up to E. Scan up to E. So I'm giving the input as Ganesh. Suppose Attarde. Okay. So what is the output? Can you see? Output is only GAN. Why the whole string is not scanned?
Because you have given only till E, sir.
Yeah, you have given scan up to E. So whenever the E came, your scanning will be over. Getting?
Yes, sir.
So the same technique I can use by using /n. Up to /n, I want to scan it. Very simple. /n is my end of my character, end of my string. Okay. Yes. Now in your actually this works in your Linux or not, I don't know, but it works in your Turbo-C GetS. So GetS is also one of the function that is generally used to get the string from the console, and The usage is very simple. Name is equal to getS. Just try to check that it works in Linux or not. Yeah, it not works. Okay, actually this getS works in the Turbo C only. It is not works in your Linux. So I'm not going to take this getS here. Okay. So string we have taken. Now next one we will see the different library function of C string library function string.h. Okay, enter your name and then we know that scanf percent up to /n and then s comma name, and suppose size I'm giving as a 30. Your name is 30. Okay, the very first string library function we are going to see as a strlen function. The strlen function give the length of my string. So then how to use it? strlen, and you just have to provide the name of your array, and your name is equal to this, and you can print here length of name is equal to %d/n, len. Okay, so length means, okay, first we will try to execute this program, then I will tell you what is length. So compile, yes, compile my program and then try to run this program. A.out. Enter your name. So Ganesh, and your name is Ganesh, and length is 6. So actually the length of my array is 7 because GANES is 6 character and the last is /0. But while calculating the length of your string, that /0 is not counted. This is the point that you have to remember. Okay, actual size is 7, but the length of string is 6. So strlen will not count last /0. Only number of valid characters present in your string, that is only returned only. Okay. Now if I am running this program, okay, now what is the length it returns? Up to /n I have given
14, sir.
so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How much? 14.
14.
Yes, 14, because actually there are only 13 characters are there, but one more invisible character is there, and that is the space. Space is also counted here. Space is also space is also having its own ASCII value. So to store the space, we also require that 1 byte. So total character, if you count, total characters are 14. Last /0 is not included. So getting strlen. So strlen is generally used to get the length of your given string. Okay. First string function we have taken. The second one is your suppose name 1 and suppose 30. So enter your name. You have taken the name, your name in your name array. Now what you need to do, you need to copy whatever the name present in your name array into the name 1. So you want to do a string copy. So how to do string copy? Very simple. There is a function name as a strcpy. Strcpy will copy one string to another string. So the uses is, I think first one is your suppose my name where I want to copy name on name 1, and from where I want to copy name. So whatever the content of name get copy into name 1. Content of name I copy into name 1. So we'll try to put both here. name1 is equal to name1, and this is no more. Okay, so when I run this program, and if you give the output as a Ganesh, input as a Ganesh, so your name is Ganesh, your name1 is also Ganesh. Getting? So here string copy doesn't mean that name1 equal to name. If you do this name1 equal to name, then you will get an error. Okay, so what error? Just try to run it and you will get an error there. Name1 equal to name. So it means that here the address present in your name is your array name itself address. So address of name you are trying to store into name1, but name1 is also array name. Name1 is not a pointer. If name1 is pointer, then it is okay, it is perfectly fine, but name1 is also array. So array name equal to array name never works. It never works. But instead of this, if this is there in char star name, then it perfectly fine. So what you are doing, whatever the starting address of name, you are storing into the pointer name1. Now it is perfectly fine. If you are trying to run this program, then it will not giving any error, and the same output you are getting. Name Ganesh. Yes. So the moral is, if both are string, and if you want to copy one string into another string, then use strcpy. But if one is string, your source is string, if your destination is pointer, you can directly use that first one, name1 equal to name there. Getting? So use strcpy only when both are the arrays. Yes. String copy, have you noted this? So how to remember? strcpy destination comma source. In this way you can remember this. Whatever the source, get copy into destination. Done. Next one is your suppose name is, I want to take from the user, and name1 is Attarde directly there. I want to do a string concatenation. So for string concatenation means whatever the content of the name is equal to content of name plus the content of name1. I want to do this. So name I want to add with the name1. The name I want to add with the name1. If I want to add whatever the name that you are providing here, so if you are providing name as a Ganesh, so what you do here, Ganesh is added with Attarde, and where the result gets stored, the result is stored into the name itself. So result is Ganesh Attarde. So here I'm giving space in front of it. So name Ganesh space Attarde, this is your final result. Try to run this program. So my name Ganesh, your name is, you can see here name is Ganesh Attarde, but name1 is not changed here. Name1 is unchanged. Name1 is Attarde only. But name get changes to Ganesh Attarde. Okay. So what get changes here? The first argument of your strcat is get changes there. So what is the uses here? The uses is name is equal to name plus name1. You can use it. Whatever the content of name is concat with the name1, and the result is stored into the name itself. Yes, getting? Yes. Are you getting this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, actually all of C string functions are the very self-explanatory. Yeah, one more function is there, strlwr. Mm, strlwr and the name. Just first checking the strlwr. Actually, this is not present. The most of the C string functions are removed from the in GCC. strupr, is it present? strlwr function is present in your Turbo C. In Turbo C it will run. strupr also not present. Okay, strupr is convert your whatever the name into the uppercase. If your name is having the Ganesh, so what is the output? The output is whole Ganesh. Okay, strlwr will give the output as Ganesh. Okay, but GCC don't have this type function. Most of the function is removed in the GCC.
So what is LWR?
L
WR.
L double O.
No, sir.
Huh?
STRLWR.
strlwr lowercase. If you want to
So it
convert
converts uppercase to lowercase.
if the uppercase character is there, it convert to lowercase. If lowercase is there, then it will not affect.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So okay, so I will give you the remaining string function as an assignment to you. So what you just go to the Google and just see string functions in C. Okay, so this is the C function. strcat, strrchr, string the scanning operation, and you have to export it. strcmp I will take. strcmp, very important. strcat, strcpy, strcmp, and stralien. These are the only 4 most used functions. strcmp. Suppose there are the second name is there, name 1, which is the 30, and suppose it contains the Ganesh. It contains Ganesh, and you are taking the name from the user, and name 1 also contains Ganesh. And now you want to check that user what name has user inputs, and the name 1 content, is it same or not, if you want to compare it. So you can't compare with the name 1 name equal to name 1. You can't compare because it compares the addresses. You don't want to compare addresses, you want to compare the contents. So how to compare the content? So there is a function name as strcmp. strcmp will compare the contents of both, and if the both content is same, then it will return 0. If both contents or the both strings are same, then it will return the 0. So both strings are match, else printf not match, /n, and here also /n. Okay, so try to run this program again. GCC string1.c and the a.out. So now name 1 is Ganesh, and suppose if I'm inputting Ganesh, then now name and name 1 both content should be matched, so it should print both strings are match. Both strings are match. Suppose if I'm rerunning and if I'm giving here Attarde, so not match. Yes, getting? Very simple use of the strcmp. It will return 0 if both are same. It will return other than 0 if it is both are not same. Very simple. Yes.
So if,
Huh? Yeah.
like, even if the like spacing is different, also it will be not matching.
Not matching. You can see. Also, this one. Your name is Ganesh. Here the G is small. I want the name one content G capital. It will print not match. If space is there, okay, space Ganesh, space Ganesh, then not match. Okay. So it will do only character by character matching. First character match with first character. Then only it will go for second character. Second character match with second character. If it is not match, yes.
Can we compare length also?
Yeah, length also we can compare. But if you want to compare content, then strcmp is used. If you want to compare length, then strlen should be used.
Okay, sir.
Huh? First, take the two variable int len equal to strlen of name, int len2 equal to strlen of name 1, and check here if len equal to len1 equal to len2, both having the same length, else not having the same length.
Okay, sir.
So we suppose we can convert it into upper, like using those functions, and then if we compare, like we'll get it as same.
Yes. That is our actually assumption, that whatever the user input, first try to convert into the uppercase, then try to compare it. Okay. If you want to match it only contents, content means actually without case, without not considering the case, if you want to compare, then we can use it. Actually there is also one strcmpi. This is the one function is there, I think. strcmpi function will compare the string without comparing its case. stricmp, yes. Actually these functions are available in your Turbo C, but it is removed in your GCC.
Okay.
Here also here. Okay. Whereas if you refer that latest C, is having this all the function strcmp I, stricmp. GCC is not having these functions. Okay. So the remaining functions you have to search out. All uses is also given here. I'm giving the link of this website. You just go there and search out all the functions, string function, and make your own notes. Okay. So this is the actually string. Now you need to do some more practices on the string. I will put you the program statements regarding to the strings. And now the next topic, I'm not going to start today, but the next topic, tomorrow's topic, we are going to start as a structure. But in a structure, actually, we require the array, we require string again, we require pointers again. All the previous thing is required in your structure. So it is a combination of all the previous one. So tomorrow we'll start with the new topic, structure, and if possible, then we'll take the union also. But I think it is not possible. Structure will complete tomorrow only.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So what is the remaining topic? Structure, union, enums, and file handling.
Files.
Files only.
4
Yeah.
topics.
Huh? 4 topics, na?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, okay. So try this strings. Try to implement the strcmp, strcpy, strlen by yourself. Try to implement by yourself. Just like suppose I want to implement my own strlen function. So I can implement myself. Just like, so my function len is equal to strlen Ganesh. This is my function, strlen my function. Okay, which will give the take the user input as a name and which will give the result as a length of this string. Okay, so instead of using strlen, I'm using strlen Ganesh. So the same working should be there. So length is equal to %d comma len. So the prototype is strlen Ganesh and it takes one character pointer p. So int strlen Ganesh and character, because we know that how to pass the array to your function by using a pointer, we can pass it. So I require one variable L here. L is, I'm starting with the 0. So what I'm doing here, while, what is the last character? Tell me. If I'm putting here name is equal to Ganesh. If name is equal to Ganesh. What is the last character of Ganesh?
H
Slash
It is
0.
not H, it is /0.
/0. Okay.
This /0. So I'm doing, if I'm comparing with, if value at p is not equal to /0. Okay. So if value at p is not equal to /0, then L++ and P++. And then, and if value at p, now you are incrementing, first p is pointing to G. Is it /0? No. So L is incremented, L is 1. Now p is pointing to A because P++. Now is it /0? No. L is 2. Like that, L is incremented every times if it is not /0. Last time after H, it will compare with the /p, because after H, you are incrementing P, P is pointing to /0. So if P is pointing to /0, the condition becomes false. When condition becomes true here. When the condition becomes true, then it will go outside of the loop, and at that time, what is the value of L there? Tell me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have to return the L here. Getting? So here I have implemented my own version of the strlen. So it's time to check, is it working or not? ./a.out. So Ganesh, length is 6. Again, Ganesh Uttadi, length is 14. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So try to implement that function strcmp, strcat. This function try to implement yourself. So I think we'll stop today and continue the same session on tomorrow.
Sir, tomorrow also 10 o'clock only, no, sir?
10 o'clock only, 10 o'clock. All sessions are of the 10 o'clock.
Okay, sir.
Okay. If you have any doubts in timing, then inform me.
Okay, sir.
Okay.